Be the change. Be the change. Welcome. This is all about you. It is always all about you. Because when you tend to you, when you take care of yourself, when you build yourself up, when you build your strength up, you find your confidence, you find what you're good at, you find what you like to do, you find what you dislike to do, and you start to take action on these things. You start to put it together, your life, in a way that works with how you truly feel about it. Not what other people are saying about it, but how you truly feel about it. This is an attempt to unravel, take away all the layers that is not you, so that you can find that beautiful essence of calm, contentment, peace, love, and the presence that you are. Great Spirit, Father God, source of all things, presence. What would be the overall for this little message here today? Unity. Soul, 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 soul. Everything else is just details. Soul, 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 soul. Unity. Everything else, just details. I see the unity and harmony within the polarities that I am. What you like, what you dislike. I see the unity and harmony within the polarities that I am experiencing and choose to align with the center point of balance. Harmony and love for one and all. I open to seeing with fresh eyes and more balanced perspective. I open to seeing with fresh eyes. Okay, don't see it the way you saw it yesterday. Now today is the challenge. Fresh eyes. We're going to have fresh eyes and more balanced perspective. Perhaps you can just practice for one day to see everything in the opposite. Like if you usually judge that person, maybe today you praise them. Or like in your mind, if you usually have a problem with that, maybe today that's your favorite. Or like perhaps you really don't enjoy being there, but today you're going to really enjoy it. Or you just create some weird changes in the way you see things, not because that's necessarily how you feel, but just as an experiment to see how much you can change the perspective. The truth of this matter lies in between the polarities within which I am resonating. I unite. I believe also when you unite with your true essence, your authentic self, like what you really like, how you really feel, what you really want to say, all that good stuff that is always within ourselves, and the things that we, oh, I wish I'd said that, oh, I wish I'd done that, oh, I wish I did that. Those are the authentic, sometimes, messages that would like to come out of you. And then, nope, you're not going to let it come out of you because you have some, shouldn't do that, or you shouldn't be like that, shouldn't say things like that, shouldn't act in that way. This is not politically correct, got to keep them in line here. So listening to that little voice inside, the authentic voice, that's when life starts to be vibrant. That's when life starts to be beautiful. That's when you start to vibrate like just this essence of, I don't know, magnetism, of presence, of beauty, everything just popping out from within. It's a good place to be in, and it's a good vision to have in your head that you can actually do these things. You can become these things. Even if you're depressed, you're anxious, you're panicking. Trust me, I've been running around for like 15 years, full panic every day. So you can change these things. I know you can because I've done it. And so you can change from being that neurotic person running around or saying things or blurting out, whatever, however your life is. Or maybe just too cautious, never say a thing. You're always too cautious. You always hold your quiet. And so you can break out of these things. And that's the beauty of life. That's how you can change things. That's how everything can change in your life, by doing the inner work. So we're pulling the crown chakra here today. And with the crown chakra, so here are some issues that since we're pulling this crown chakra here today, there's many benefits to it. There's also some issues that might be, like if you can recognize any of these things within yourself, then maybe it would be a good place for you to work on it. It's the third eye chakra. Third eye chakra. Okay, so we got, if you feel like you have any issues, including learning limitations, if you are having bad dreams, if you're afraid of the truth or you're fearing truth, if you have bad vision, glaucoma, rationality, hallucinations, paranoia, and headaches. If you can relate to any of these things, then maybe there's a blockage in your mind. Like maybe there's a blockage. And then if you put your attention to it, and then you allow it to open up a little bit, now you can create little miracles within your own self, which is a beautiful thing here on planet Earth, just because why not? And so we got, okay, mind, body, and soul. Be a good manager of your mind. Figure out, how can you be a good manager of your mind? Homework. That's the homework. Mind. Okay, think about it. Just figure it out. Put a little sheet together. I wonder how I could be a good manager of my mind. What would that look like for me? Let me figure that out. And you're going to be one step closer to being your full, authentic, peaceful, dang beautiful self. So homework. Be a good manager of your body, because you're going to have to live there for the whole world, for the whole duration on planet Earth. And be a good manager of your soul. Do things that nourish your soul, make you feel good, that make you feel at peace, make you feel adventurous and excited and all that good stuff. Got the world showing up here. King of Wands showing up here. So, and Three of Swords. Perhaps you're dealing with a heartache, heartbreak, disappointments. This can be your own energies, like with the King of Wands showing up. Like King of Wands is a very passionate, adventurous, solid energy. Like this is the masculine part where you know how to put strategies together. You know how to plan things, which you know how to do all these things. The logic, that part of your brain is very well developed. And also the other part of your brain with the passion and the excitement and the good stuff. So this is like stepping into next level leadership stuff. This is really good. And the world, closing out cycles. It could also be stepping into the light. Perhaps you're taking a bigger role in your life. Perhaps you're stepping up, stepping in, like taking responsibility, putting on a different hat so that you can now look at life from a different perspective. Perhaps you're going to go out there and just do it a little bit differently and put on those leadership qualities and do your best with that. The Three of Swords is also here, so there might be some heartbreak. I always say that we all have heartbreaks. I think every single human on planet Earth is heartbroken in one way or the other. When you look around or when you see what people do to one another or how we treat one another, what we say to one another, the culture that we've created, all that stuff that makes us feel not good enough. And so there's always going to be heartbreaks and heartaches out there. And the good thing is that you don't need anybody else to fix your heartbreak. You don't need anybody else to, well, you can create it on your own. You can, with expectations, you can put rightful expectations onto a person, and when they don't come through and do what you think they should be doing, then you feel heartbroken. Oh my gosh, and maybe you didn't even talk about it. So now you created this whole thing, and we humans, we do it all the time. So this can also be about closing out cycles of make-believe, closing out cycles of creating your own heartbreaks, self-sabotaging. Maybe you're on your way to rising up to this leadership thing, and then you have fear of failure, so you create some kind of a heartache, so you can take your attention of it. I mean, we people, we get very creative when we want to get out of something. I know that. Or if we want something for free, we get very creative, or like how to make money without doing a thing. And then you can just look at what people come up with, how they do in the return section in the store, for example. So people are very creative. We are very creative when it comes to making our lives easier. And sometimes making our lives easier is just avoiding what would challenge us, avoiding stepping up, avoiding growing, avoiding stepping out of your comfort zone, avoiding all of that. And that is also on the long term creating heartbreaks and heartaches. But you're also not allowing yourself to grow in that in the way that you could. And I mean, why not like take out the full potential of who you are? I can assure you that you're going to have more benefits. You're going to love your life way more. You're going to have so much more fun, and you're going to have so much more experiences, and you're going to be so much more satisfied, like from where you are today. When you sit there in your rocket chair at the end of your life and you'd be thinking about like, what did I do with my time, I wonder? Oh, dude, dang, I forgot all about all of the stuff that I wanted to do, and now it's too late. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to say, hey, I've managed to stop in time in this matrix. I created a little space for myself where I figured out, I sat down and I was like, how can I quiet the mind? Like, how can I be a good manager of my mind? And I sat down and I figured it out. That's when the peace came in. Quiet. Ease. No worries, no sadness, just being. Current situation. Seven of Pentacles. So current situation, someone is working, planting seeds, got Seven of Cups, got plenty of options. So your current situations, you're doing something really good. And awakening. Okay, so your current situation is really good. Planting seeds, you got plenty of options, so you're doing something right, you're doing something well, and also the awakening. So you are realizing a lot of things with your situation and a lot of things with your life, which is a good thing. So whatever current situation that you're in, if you plant the seeds, you do the best that you can. And by doing the best that you can, sometimes it's not about the thing that you actually do. It's about, did you ever sit down and like be a good manager of your mind? If you ever did that, then everything else that you do in your life is going to have a higher quality. Why? Because when you're able to quiet the mind, you're also able to be in the moment. When you're able to be in the moment, it's the doorway to the now, it's the doorway into peace. It's the doorway into presence and being. When you're present and when you're just being, you don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to know how to do everything. You don't have to know everything up front, because whatever happens in the now, when you are in presence, the answers will just arise from the moment, and you will know exactly what to say, and you will know exactly what to do. And everything will just work out perfectly fine. So that's the gift from taking the time out. And when you do that, when you plant seeds and you also work on your internal self so you can quiet the dang mind. The dang mind is the biggest freaking issue that we have here on planet Earth. And I'm almost to say like, yeah, every single person is pretty much freaking crazy. Not in an institution yet, but we're in a human life institution. All conditioned, all in our minds completely. So there's that. Be a good manager of your mind. Plant the seeds, and all the options that you would want will pop up for you. But also, when people see that you do the work, when people see that you are actually putting the effort in, you're doing the work, and whatever you're doing is gaining quality. So whatever you're doing, internal work, however you work on your craft, whatever situation that you have, whatever situation that you are working on, you're doing good, you're being diligent. Okay, so now some options are going to come up. Take a breath. I get so excited. Options are going to come up. Now is the time to also sit down, use that new piece of mind that you got, you know, when you sat down and you figured out how to be a good manager of your mind. So you sit down and then you use that new knowledge in your peaceful quietness, and you take a good look at those different options that are popping up around you. Now you check in with your judgment card here. You check in about how you feel about these things, like how you really feel about it. Not like, oh my gosh, if I was a superstar, I would be like admired by everybody and everybody would love me and I would be in a picture, so I would do this and that would be great. I would love that. Would you really though? If you sit down with your new mind, your peacefulness, your presence, like would that really be the happiness there? Or would it just actually create a lot of tension and stress in your life and really not be that fulfilling at all? Because it doesn't really matter what they think about you out there. What matters is what you think about yourself in here. And that's the awakening. This is the awakening process. This is understanding that, yeah, all of that is, it's bling, ding, ding. So there's going to be cups with all of the wishes that maybe you thought that that is all that I want in my life. It's everything I need. It's all I want for myself. And maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. You would check in with yourself. With a peaceful mind, you'll be more able to listen to your intuition, listen to that, look at the facts. If it looks too good to be true, usually it is. Judgment, awakening, like realizing how much time we waste in our life just on absolutely nothing, really, because we are constantly thinking about the past, we're thinking about the future, we're thinking about this, we're thinking about that. So we're missing out on the experience of life itself. The awakening is here. So whatever you do in your situation, you're putting down the work, you're awakening to the reality of things, which is a great thing. Like awakening from that nonsense and the dream and the just what happened is almost like waking up from a long dream. Shadow work. We all have it. Like we all have stuff to work on within ourselves. We all have shadow work that we can do. We all have our own little inner demons. And it is the only way, well, once you start to do these things, shadow work, okay, so we got shadow work, Six of Swords. How can Six of Swords be shadow work? Sometimes, if you're walking around on planet Earth with fear, always, constantly fear, worried about something, and you read in the papers, you look at the news, there's people being killed everywhere, everybody's got a gun, and there's always something going on. So when you go out there, you're like, whoa, what is going on out here in the world? And then you go out there with the fear, right? And then, so walking out there with the fear, and then you walk around. When you're fearful, and then this is the energy that you hold. You're very fearful, and then that's the energy. This is your transmitter. So now you're saying to the universe, give me something to be fearful about. Show me something to fear. Show me all these fearful things. So that's how you're walking around. And then, okay, universe saying, okay, here comes Mrs. Fearful. So we're going to send her something more so we can startle her a little bit, make her a little bit more fearful. And that's okay. You can do that if you want to. If you want, and that's okay too. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a fearful experience. That's all. And so shadow work here can be, though, maybe you can allow yourself to have faith that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on around the world. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on all the time around the world. There are people scheming, manipulating, stealing, lying, killing, raping, selling people, stealing their organs, selling kids, eating the kids, whatever. There's so much horrible things going on out there in the world. Would it be possible to still, with all that going on, would it be possible to, even though, have faith in something greater than ourselves? Something greater, something better. Perhaps you can trust something greater. And maybe you can feel like you are protected by this something greater. So then when you leave the house, maybe you can say, I need protection when I leave this house, and can you please help me to feel peaceful and content and confident when I'm walking out in the world? And then you ask for that. What you ask for, you will receive it. Now you're doing shadow work. You're trying to allow this fear, understand it, allow it to come to the surface, and then implement something new, a new perspective, like see it in a new way, perhaps Every time you go out there, it can be your new, like, okay, today, instead of feeling fearful, I'm going to practice feeling calm and happy. And then you practice new things, and you can practice these things too. And so it's just what you look at. Maybe you go outside, you look at the trees, you look at the sky, you look at the, oh my gosh, my body can move. That's wonderful. And the air, oh my gosh, I can breathe. And if I wanted to, I could go and swim in the ocean, or I can go for a walk in the woods, or whatever it is that you like to do. So however, shadow work, not fearing change. Most people are not going to be doing this work because they are afraid of changing. Everything that is uncertain, and everything that is they don't understand, or they don't know, or that people have told them that they shouldn't do, or that's be careful with that, that's the devil, and all that stuff. And then people be fearful of change because they believe that it is the truth. So the shadow work with the tower can be like, do that thing, whatever it is that you've been thinking about, but you're always procrastinating on it because it's a little bit scary. Do that thing. Just practice doing it. You don't have to do all at once. You can do just a little bit. And then you can practice change. Practice change and uncertainty. I feel very comfortable in uncertainty. Perhaps that can be a new affirmation. Just to change the perspective a little bit, to do something different, say something different, claim something different. Now you're changing things, and it will change everything around you. And it's a little thing that you can do within yourself. And you can always do it. You can just think about it, like be a good manager of your mind, put some good stuff in your mind. So whenever you are getting all wrapped up in your mind, perhaps you all have all these affirmations ready. That's a good way to use the mind. Perhaps you have all these things ready in your mind because you cleared it out, so you don't have to go into fearful place. And then the Three of Wands, it can be like procrastination, like not putting enough energy behind things. If you're wishing for change and you're just sitting there wishing for it, then it's going to be a wishing well. Like it's a good thing. Maybe then it's a comfortable place to be in, but it's not really going to create any changes, or it's not really going to create anything. So you can wish for it all day long, but unless you do the work, and I'm going to say that every time because it's the truth, unless you do the work, nothing is going to change. You have to do the work. Possible outcome, the Star. Possible outcome, healing, hope for something better. Hope that maybe the best part of your life hasn't even been yet. Perhaps the best is yet to come. And perhaps you're allowed to heal yourself. The wounds in your heart, like heal that heartbreak, heal the grief, heal all of it. Just let it go. You don't have to hold on to it just because it had happened in your life. You don't have to hold on to it. Healing, and also being the change also might set you apart from a lot of people and from the way that the workings of the world. So being the change, you might have to just stand up for what you believe in, stand up for yourself. And if you're breaking out, like with the judgment here, in your situation, you're trying to break out from, and you're awakening from like the tediousness of life, or maybe just a routine that you've been in forever, or maybe just like how they trained you well to do the job for all those years. So now you've done that, and that's good, and it's great, and it takes accomplishments. There's nothing to belittle it about, because it's all good. But then the awakening happens, and now you might have to stand up for what you believe in even more. Now, because your authentic voice is going to come out, you're going to startle all of the people around you that are inauthentic. All the people that are clinging to the roles, they don't want to change, they want to stay in their roles, they don't want to bring out their authentic self. Well, when you do that, you're going to trigger all of the people around you. So just get used to it. They're going to be weird, and sometimes they're going to be mean, but just stand your ground, stand in your truth, and just stand there strong in your own truth. It's your right as a human being. And also it can create conflict and mental conflict, anguish. And doing the work, standing up for yourself. Now you got to be aware of the snakes, and they're going to come out of the woodworks and the grass and everything too. And sometimes the snakes, they just come out because they want something for free. You know how creative people can be if they want something for free, or if they want to do something, they want to gain something without doing the work or stuff like that. So people get very creative in these scenarios. So just be aware of that, because once you show the healing, once you start to vibrate on a higher level, once you stand up for yourself and you stand up in your truth and you're not afraid of it, and you'll be like, well, you have an opinion, that's okay. I have an opinion, that's okay. You have an opinion, that's okay. Let's just all be souls, and all the rest is just details. And always know that nobody has the right to belittle you. Nobody has the right to confuse you. Nobody has the right to make you feel, trigger you, or make you feel out of sorts, take your energy away, make you feel less than. Just remember that nobody has the right to do that. And if you have people around you who are doing these things, then yes, stand up for yourself and heal from it. Move away from it. This is toxic. Move away from it if you can. You don't have time. There's too little time here on planet Earth for you to hop around in all that toxic stuff and the drama, backstabbing, all that jealousy and all that drama stuff. Walk away from it. We don't have time for that. It's too much. Rather be a starter of new projects, be a passionate new beginner. I mean, who came to this? Did anyone, raise your hand if you came to this world fully equipped with all the knowledge, the education, everything, all the answers that you need? Okay, no hands. Yeah, sure. Because we don't. That's what life is about. Gaining the information, gaining the knowledge, and gaining new things. And if you're always afraid of starting new things, you're never going to start new things. So here's the encouragement. Don't be afraid to be a newbie. And don't be afraid to having to learn things from the beginning. And know that infinite abundance is available. And know that infinite abundance is pouring into your life. If you allow it, of course. If you don't allow it, it won't pour. And then, so Esther and Abraham Hicks says, in the rampage of appreciation process, you actually set your vibrational frequency to one of allowing what you have asked for into your experience. You have been asking in every day of your experience, and Source has answered without exception. And now, in your mode of appreciation, yay, appreciation. Oh my gosh, I am so appreciative of that. This is wonderful. You know, the 10 minutes a day, maybe in appreciation mode, rampage. Oh my gosh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And you point out everything on this rampage of appreciation. Oh my goodness. It is a miracle thing to do. Okay. So you are in the practice of receiving. You are now engaging in the last step in the process of creation. You are letting it in. Appreciation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciation. I appreciate you. And the beautiful light in me, it honors, respects, and loves. The same. Soul, soul, soul. All the rest is just details. Beautiful light in you. Until next time. Namaste.